as we jump right into this, coming in at number 5 is Limbo. Now, I'm sure most of you have heard of Limbo, hopefully. It's a great game. It's been on a lot of things, PC, iPad, Android. There, there are numerous ways to obtain this game. And if you haven't gotten it, I'd recommend getting it on PS4. Well, not necessarily. It's actually a lot cheaper on other devices. But anyway, it's still a great game. It is a puzzle, and if you're planning on buying it on anything, I recommend first testing it on PS4 since there's a free demo. The thing is, the demo does not show the best parts of the game because the demo is the first couple of areas. And the first couple of areas are meant to teach you about the controls, to think of it, kind of, I guess. Maybe a little parkour here and there. And here is a puzzle that first time I did it, it took me quite a bit of time to figure it out. And when I did, I'd actually flattened myself. But this isn't the first time playing it for me anyways. I already did it on iOS. Anyway, there are some not so difficult parts like this. I found this incredibly easy, and I'm sure most people will too. You just gotta play it slightly safe. There is a boss throughout the game, and that boss is very interesting to play against. And there are people. It's a very interesting experience. Totally recommend it to anyone. At least try the demo, I'd say. Why not try the demo? There had been planning to jump onto the log, but it had fallen too far. Anyway, this has been Limbo, and remember to try it out. It's a free demo, and that's the spider I was talking about. It's pretty much the boss of the game, and right there it catches you, and that was the demo. Anyway, moving on to number 4, it's Rogue Legacy with its own unique experience. As you chop people down left and right, die left and right, the dying is so extreme. There's so much of it. It is completely unavoidable. And of course, there is story throughout most of it. And I personally enjoy the story. It's not like a big part of it or anything, but it's something minor. Something the devs didn't have to do, but they did it anyways. That's what makes a good game. Like, they didn't have to do it, but they did it anyways. It's kind of like GTA 5, where they put on all these details. And of course, there are a lot of little details that each character has their own traits, like OCD, color blindness, and many more, which keeps the game fresh. And there's even one referencing the Matrix. It's called The One, and the detail says there is no spork. If you get that, I tip my hat to you. And this has been Rogue Legacy. As you see here, you can choose hairs as you die, which is a unique spawning system in its own way. Now on to number 3 is Towerfall Ascension. This game is a blast of a time, especially with friends, and even on solo, it is quite enjoyable. As I show you here, this is the PvE content. The PvP content is extremely fun, but I could not find anyone to play it with. As you see here, I continue to just stand there and shoot stuff. Once you've played the game, it and you once you've played the game for yourself and seen other people play, you'll realize how skilled the game is, and you'll enjoy those skilled plays. with all the dashes to avoid damage. And such and such. It is a great game, totally worth the buy. I got it for free on PSN a while ago, so it probably won't be going back on PlayStation Plus anytime soon. And there you go. I just committed suicide. Of course, there are a wide range of power-ups, and the odds are that they aren't going to update the game really. So if you are expecting new updates once you get the game, there aren't. There was a really big update a while ago, and it was massive. There were a lot of things. Anyway, moving on to number 2. You guessed it, The Binding of Isaac Rebirth. The Binding of Isaac has always been a good game, and probably always will be. Of course, there are some of the better bosses, and then there are some of these bosses. You kind of wonder why they were put in the game in the first place. They're incredibly easy, yet tedious, since they're random. And then there's some enemies that are tedious to kill, like those guys. Maybe in mass numbers they'd be powerful, but in 2, it's tedious. And of course you watch your character evolve as you get power-ups. Look at that face. And then there are times you hate the developers for being jerks. Like now. Forever sad. Forever sad. And then there are times that you're stressed out and you think you might actually be able to beat them with 1 heart. And then reality starts catching up on you. And then things start to get worse. And you fail. Yet so close to succeeding. And then we have number 1, Helldivers. Now this game is absolutely great. I've put off making this video for a long time simply because I was playing this game a lot. It is just great. Absolutely great. Of course, it's like Destiny in certain ways, like a weak story. Weak story, skill trees, and I guess somewhat similar MMO feel to it. Of course there are mechs, which is probably one of the more defining things in the game, the mechs. Where you just shoot everything for a very, very long time. This thing has loads of bullets. And of course there are nukes, which are fun to play chicken with. And then there are tanks, which require 4 people to drive, so you better get some friends for this game. Unless you just want to sit in the cannon forever alone. And then there's magic fairy dust that slows them down, / electrocutes them. What kind of game would this be without magic fairy dust? And of course there are more nukes to throw around. Well, this has been it with Static Hero. If you would be so kind to leave a like, I would gladly appreciate it. And remember, get Helldivers.